This movie was the biggest waste of time. I can't even lie to you. Like, this movie is one of those things where it's kind of like you go in and you kind of like, you have your reservations just given like, the history of what has happened within the last year or two with the production behind the movie. But you still feel like, okay, well, all the other ones have been pretty good and, enjoyable. This, can still stick the landing despite the drama. They were just doing whatever the hell they wanted to in this movie. At one point, I thought they were cooking. I thought they were cooking. There was like a 5 minute sequence when I was like, oh shoot, they're doing something different. No, no. Once it got to the third act of this movie, they completely just said, here you go. The real winner of this entire movie was Neve Campbell. Like, I ain't mad at Neve Campbell for getting her money. Last Scream, I don't know what the behind the scenes things were. I don't know what's the number they reportedly offered her because, they were kind of, moving the story away from Sidney Prescott. But whatever the number was must have been obscene. So, I'm glad she got her money. And on top of that, like, she's really the only good thing in this movie. Like, it was $7 million well spent. She did her job is what I'm saying. And the acting in this movie isn't really even that bad, except of course, like I've said before in the past, that like once you find out it's Ghostface, who Ghostface is, they just turn to the Tasmanian devil and just be like, whoa, I'm crazy. Like, I wish the Scream villains stop trying to be a caricature of Billy and Stu from the first one. Like, just do your own things. There are different types of crazy you can do, is what I'm saying. But the plot of this movie, so damn dumb. Where are the police? Sidney's married to Joel McHale. He's a police officer in this movie. They had a whole like unit supposed to protect them. I ain't seen those people not one time. They showed up once. Then after that, nobody else is in this city. It's literally just Sidney, her daughter, and her daughter's stupid ass friends. And then people act like they don't know nothing. I hate when people act like they don't know nothing. Like Sidney's daughter. Sidney's daughter at one point said the stupidest thing of like, how come I can't have a boy in my room? You did it once. There's a whole movie explaining why that was a bad idea. In universe and in the real world, there are 7 stab movies in their universe, and she literally was asking, why can't I have a dude in this house? Why don't you trust my boyfriend? And then was like, I can be brave, immediately choked. Also, back to Ghostface. Dumbest Ghostface ever. Dumbest Ghostface ever. When you find out who Ghostface is and what his motive is, you will literally be pissed because it's like you wasted all of these characters. If I was in this world, I would have to crash out on Ghostface just because it's like you are literally wasting this entire town's time with this shit. And also, spoiler, he did get jumped at one point, but it didn't feel as satisfying as it should have felt. But never mind. The thing is, it wasn't even like a real jumping because they still fumbled that. Like, if somebody was writing this movie, they should have just took in mind that Sidney Prescott has been attacked by all these people all these times. And it's kind of like, maybe she has an idea of like, you know what? Next time this happens, I want to do some creative stuff. Like, they really should have had Sidney. She was moving like Sarah Connor in this movie. But they really should have just got creative. Like, oh, if I hide behind a door, he run through. I can close the door and shoot him in the back or something. They wasted opportunity. Wasted opportunity. Honestly, they should have just Melissa Barrero and Jenna Ortega do their thing. They should have apologized to Melissa, said, hey, our bad that, we fired you because you were against genocide, that's on us. My bad. Like, let's go ahead, When the fire died down a little bit, they could have just paid the girl and kept her on and finished the original trilogy they had. Okay, if Neve Campbell isn't in it, so be it. All right, whatever. But no, capitalism's gonna capitalize. Shout out to the OG Neve, but this movie was trash. 3.5.